Hello everyone and welcome back to another video about Assassin's Creed. So today I'm going to be talking a little bit about Assassin's Creed Empire. I thought I'd do another Assassin's Creed Empire video because I haven't done many of these in a while. I did the Assassin Brotherhood video the other day, but I thought I'd do another Assassin's Creed Empire video for today because I want to talk some more about Empire because, you know, it's getting slightly less hyped and I want to keep that hype up. So we're going to talk about today, we're going to talk about traveling and free roaming in Assassin's Creed Empire and things that I want to be in it and things that will be relevant to the setting that I think the game's going to be in, which is ancient Egypt. There's so many different methods of travel that could be possible in Assassin's Creed Empire due to the setting, and you know, I'm going to talk a little bit about that in today's video. And yeah, there's not really much else I can say. This is a video on the traveling and free roaming in Assassin's Creed Empire. I hope you guys enjoy, and let's get right into the video, guys. So basically what this video is going to be about is going to be about how you get around in the world in Assassin's Creed Empire. If you're kind of confused as to what this video is, it's slightly different to the things I do before. Like, I usually do more interesting things like combat and, you know, different mechanics of the game and, you know, just different things that would kind of capture a bit more and more prominent in the game. But something that people overlook is like traveling and how you would, you know, traverse the world in the game. So I'm going to be talking about that today. Now obviously in Assassin's Creed Empire they're going to have the standard running and climbing and all that good stuff that's in Assassin's Creed. They can't take out running and they can't take out the ability to climb, because that would, you know, that would defeat the object of the game being Assassin's Creed, because Assassin's Creed's got all that, you know, free running and parkour, and it just wouldn't be Assassin's Creed without it, really. So obviously they're going to keep in the free running and walking. I don't have to fucking even say that, but I felt like I needed to. But what I want back in Assassin's Creed Empire is horses. Now, people used horses a lot in ancient Egypt, and horses are still used in Egypt in the world today. So it makes sense for horses to be in the next Assassin's Creed game, if the game's set in Egypt, which I personally think it will be. Yeah, if horses are used in Assassin's Creed Empire, it means it'd be a lot easier to traverse the different locations, because if it's set in Egypt, it's bound to be a very big map with quite a lot of desert there. It's not going to be all desert like most people think it is. People think it's just going to be like, oh, it's all sand. But, you know, there's going to be quite a few open areas, so it'd be nice to have a horse to travel through these areas with, because I think it'd make everything a lot easier if we were just able to gallop through, you know, huge open areas in the deserts and just through Egypt in general. And also, you know, be able to get through cities easier too, which would be pretty cool. Kind of like in Brotherhood, when you had the horse, you can get through Rome a lot quicker than if you were running around. And obviously, it was a very, you know, parts of Rome were very dense, so, you know, it would be nice to have a horse just to traverse through the different streets very quickly, which would be the same kind of thing in ancient Egypt, because they were very dense, very packed in cities with very small, narrow streets. So having a horse to go through these streets, getting everyone out of the way so you don't have to bump into them if you're running on your feet, then, you know, that'd be a lot easier. And you'd ultimately just be able to, you know, travel through these different areas a lot quicker on a horse, which is something that the series has been missing. The series has been missing horses. You know, we haven't seen horses since like Assassin's Creed 3, and, you know, I'm missing them. I want them back as a, you know, vehicle type thing that we can use to, you know, traverse through the world. Then raises the question of horse customization and things like that, and different things and saddles you can put on them. But really, this is Assassin's Creed and not an RPG, so I don't think they'd add that type of customization to a vehicle. But, you know, we'll have to wait and see what they do. If they add horses, there could be some form of customization to them, but not as extensive as other games. But, you know, it's more than likely that it's not going to be there at all, and we just have the animal itself that we get to ride around, which I wouldn't be too bothered about. I don't really need horse customization to enjoy riding a horse in a game. Very similarly to horses, we could have camels as well, of course. People used camels in ancient Egypt, and obviously today in Egypt, to get across the deserts, because camels obviously have a lot of stamina, and they can store water in their humps and stuff, so people used them to traverse the desert. But, you know, they won't be that much different from horses, really. They'll just be an extra added bonus to, you know, kind of add immersion to the place we're in, if it is set in ancient Egypt, which, again, I personally think it will be. So, you know, there'll be camels in the game, and, you know, just to add immersion. They won't be different from horses. I doubt anyone will rather use a camel than a horse. Apparently camels can reach 35 miles per hour according to someone. I don't know if that's true or not, but, you know, we'll have to wait and see. Apparently they can run really fucking fast, but I'd probably still just use a horse, you know, because horses are great. But Yeah, so camels will be very similar to horses. They just basically work exactly the same, except they look different and they add more immersion to the world, because people will be like, you know, NPCs will be riding them across, you know, the deserts and stuff, and, you know, just strolling around on them, and they just kind of add that like Egypt feel to it. Another thing I'd like to see is the use of small boats on the Nile to traverse that area. Now, this doesn't mean naval. I don't want naval in the Nile, because that wouldn't really work awfully well. And I wouldn't want it to come back, but having small boats on the Nile would be really cool, because it'd just be an extra way to, you know, get across the Nile instead of having to swim through it, because it'd be like kind of in Assassin's Creed 2 and Brotherhood, where you had the gondolas and Revelations, but instead it would just be on the Nile, or you could have just like a kind of small boat with a sail that you could, you know, drive around and have fun on that, and, you know, just get through the Nile, because I'd rather not just have like the only option is swimming, because that'd just be kind of silly if you think about it, because there definitely were boats at the time, and people definitely used boats to cross the Nile, and also to, you know, just be in the Nile in general. So it would make sense for there to be boats there that you can use. Obviously, they wouldn't be the most advanced boats ever, because it would be set in ancient Egypt. But, you know, you could just have them to go up and down the Nile, and, you know, that would be another way of traveling through the world. Obviously, you could have swimming as well. That's something that I mentioned just then. You could swim through the Nile, and that would be, you know, a valid option. If you wanted to swim through the Nile, you'd be able to. You know, why would Ubisoft just go, you know, you can't fucking swim through the Nile, you're not allowed to, you have to use a boat. You know, your assassin can't swim. Like, Altair couldn't swim. I don't know why Altair couldn't swim, but he couldn't swim. But I'm sure in an open world game, and especially in an open world like sandbox world like Egypt, they'd make it so you could swim through the Nile. I'm sure they'd do that, because, you know, it'd be a cool feature. Swim through the Nile. You could swim through the oceans in the West Indies. Of course, you can swim through the Nile. Another thing I'd like to see is chariots. Now, chariots were used for many different things in ancient Egypt, like combat, and also just kind of traveling around, and then also for like different spectacles and stuff like that. So, you know, chariots would be a cool addition. Maybe not have as many chariots as there were in Assassin's Creed Syndicate. Syndicate had carriages, but there were lots of carriages in Syndicate, which is understandable because of the setting it's in. There were a lot of carriages in Victorian London. People mainly used carriages to go through the city. But in terms of chariots for ancient Egypt, I wouldn't want quite as many just kind of like everywhere, like dotted fucking everywhere. I want them to be like quite a rare sight, but then you can also drive them yourself. I think that'd be good, because what's the point in having a chariot if you can't drive it? But I don't want it to be like Syndicate, where like kind of they're just there and you don't really enjoy driving them, and they just feel really just fucking annoying. Like, I didn't really like the carriages in Syndicate, but I know why I know why they're there. There's a reason, because Victorian London in real life had lots of carriages, therefore Syndicate had to have lots of carriages and have very wide streets, and it was a very big map that you had to be able to get through quickly, so carriages were another option. And chariots could be like this, but I don't want loads of chariots all over the place, because that would get very annoying, and it kind of ruined everything. And plus, I don't even think in ancient Egypt they had chariots all over the place. I don't think they just like went around in, you know, carriages and chariots. I think they kind of used horses and camels a lot more, because there were a lot of peasants. Like, the kind of rich people tended to use chariots more than normal people, and, you know, soldiers and things like that. People in the army, people in the forces in the different armies and stuff, they would use the chariots in combat as well. So I don't think that there'll be loads and loads of chariots everywhere, but I think they will make an appearance if it's set in ancient Egypt, which would be fucking awesome. And also, I'd love to be able to utilize the carriage in combat, and not like Syndicate's carriage combat, because Syndicate's carriage combat didn't really work. Like you press a button and sometimes it wouldn't work, and like Jacob or Evie would just like jump off, or like they wouldn't do what you wanted them to do. Maybe that's just me, maybe I'm just shit at the carriage combat, but personally, out of my personal experience, that's what happened in the carriages in Assassin's Creed Syndicate. I'd like to be able to, you know, just use the carriages differently in combat, be able to ram people, which you can in Assassin's Creed Syndicate, but like just bring those things back, ram people, use the ranged weapons on it like you could normally, and just have a great time with those chariots in Assassin's Creed Empire, because they could be really awesome if Ubisoft did it correctly. Also, something I want to touch upon slightly is the use of fast travel. Now, I think fast travel will definitely be used again, like things like monuments, landmarks, and different viewpoints. Every time we do a viewpoint, there will be a fast travel station. It's kind of what happens in the new Assassin's Creed games, so that'll definitely be making a return regardless of where the next setting is in Assassin's Creed. The fast traveling from viewpoints and 2 different viewpoints will make a return, certainly. So I just thought I'd touch on that at the end there. So there's nothing else I can talk about in terms of traveling and free roaming in Assassin's Creed Empire. Let me know if I've missed anything in the comment section below, and if there's different forms of travel in ancient Egypt. And you know, just let me know all that good stuff. Remember to drop a like and subscribe for more Assassin's Creed content in the future. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. I'll see you guys in the next video. Oh, also, remember to follow me on Twitter. The link will be in the description. I'm trying to get to like 1,000 followers pretty soon. You know, I'd like that, because then you can stay up to date on all the new videos and all the new streams that I'll be doing. And yeah, just follow me on Twitter. The link will be in the description. It'll help me out a lot. So yeah, cheers guys, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.